before he tells what it is that he is referring to, he says, since the day we heard it. As soon as the news came to their ears, and even until the present moment, this is held true. And that thing is that they do not cease to pray for you. That's Paul's words. They do not cease to pray for you. They weren't just thankful for the good news that they had heard, but they began to pray for those who they were thankful for. Although this isn't necessary in all situations, Paul next explains what the prayers are for. He says it is to ask that you may be filled with the knowledge of his will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding. These words here set up the train of thought for all of the rest of the epistle. The question must be, how can someone be filled with the knowledge of God's will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding without being properly instructed in it? Paul's words ahead will help lead them on this path. They may have had a copy of the Old Testament writings available to them if there were Jews among them who had converted to Christ. But they probably had no instruction on the doctrines of Christ outside of their instruction from Epaphras. Now they would need that instruction, lest they fall into the heresies which were already coming into being at the time. As I said last week, the book of Colossians, like most of the letters in the New Testament, is written to refute heresies which had already come into existence. And Paul may not even exactly say that. He may not say, well, we have people that are teaching blah, blah, blah. But you can tell by the way he brings in a subject that he is telling them that we have told you this, or you have heard this, and you either misunderstood it, or somebody is twisting it, and so I'm giving you the proper explanation of it, okay? Or they had just never been told of it, and people had come in and told them, and, because Epaphras didn't obviously tell them everything that they needed to know about Jesus, okay? But this is the purpose of the epistles, is to keep people from heresy. And as I said, I mentioned it right here, I'll read it again. It says, how can someone be filled with the knowledge of God's will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding without being properly instructed in it? Okay.